Hi everybody, welcome back to a new video. Today we are taking a look at this beast. This beast. Right, so that electric skateboard behind me is the Black Hawk All-Terrain Series version 3, and it's pretty impressive, I've got to say, for the price point. Before we get into the details of the board, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and press the bell so you don't miss any uploads. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and then you get notified every time I upload a new video. Appreciate it. Right, now jumping into the board. It's a bamboo deck. It's designed for all-terrain purposes, as the name suggests, so it's good for road and off-road. It's got a 30km top speed. It can go between 10 and 20 kilometers depending on what sort of terrain you're riding it on. It's got an LG battery. It's got a Bluetooth controller. It can go up hills of 10% gradients, which we'll touch on a bit more in the later on in the video. And yeah, it's a very impressive board. Not to mention the tubeless tyres it's got on. There's no tubes inside the tyres. You're not going to get any punctures while you're out and about, and those are one of my key points. We'll touch on that again later on in the video. It's a very good board for the price point. It's priced at £599 here in the UK. I'm not sure what it is in dollars or Australian dollars. I'll put it on the screen so you can check that out. And yeah, I like it. We're going to get out and about and test it and see what it's like. We've done it already, and I apologise for the B-roll introduction because the board's dirty already. I should have actually filmed all that before we went out on the board, but I didn't. I went out on the board, got it dirty, and then filmed it. Rookie mistake. Right then, guys, how are we doing? We are over, well, I actually don't know where we are. Don't know what these woods are called, but we're in some kind of woods. We've been here before a couple of times. There's like a path here. We're trying out the new Black Hawk all-terrain skateboard, the version 3. We're over here just testing it out, just see what it's like, and first ride, first impressions, pretty good actually. I've got a few things I want to talk about. A few things that I was actually hesitant about the board, but to be honest, it's yeah, it's a bit better than I thought it was going to be out on these sort of tracks. So we're going to have a bit of a ride around, test it out, see what it's like, and we'll have a bit of a talk about it as we go on. Jake's just made a really good point actually. There isn't an arrow to point which way is forward and which way is backwards. It's quite difficult to actually know because the board looks pretty much the same. It's pretty symmetrical, so without knowing which way is forward, it's hard really to know which way is forward and which way is backwards. So yeah, a little arrow pointing, let's go that way, like Casey Neistat used to do, might come in useful. Whoa, Jake! Right, so it's got 4 power modes. You can activate the different modes by pressing the power button on the remote. It starts off with one which is beginner, so when you first, if you're new to e-boarding or all-terrain boarding or any kind of skateboarding at all, start on the beginner and then you can see how you get on. Slowly bump yourself up. I found that power mode 3 is just about right for me. Straight out of the box, I've found that the pull-off, it must have been on power mode 4 because the pull-off, the initial get-go on power mode 4, the highest level, is sharp. It's like, whew, you're off. So you've got to be careful. I'd start on power mode 3 or 2 to start off with, just to get used to that pull-away. That's a lot more forgiving when you're pulling away. But when you've got on power mode 4, the sensitivity is really high. That's full power. But it's, yeah, it takes off like a rocket. So what we're going to do is you start rolling. This is power mode 3, so it's just a nice smooth acceleration curve, no problem at all. If I brake, we're going down a little bit of a hill, and we press the power button to get it to power mode 4, and then we, whoop, can you see what I mean? It takes off like a rocket when you're in power mode 4. That is top power. That's, yeah, I'd recommend that in open, wide spaces if you want to use that power mode. So tell us that again, Jake, because you didn't do that for the video.
You've got the reverse button.
Yeah.
So if you hold it down,
yeah,
it should go backwards.
Yeah. And hold the button down again.
And if you hold the button down again.
Ah, okay. So the reverse mode works well. It's got that reverse button on it as well, so you can go backwards and forwards, which is good. Like the old boosted boards used to have, where you rolled the trigger backwards to go forwards.
Yeah.
Did I make that? Wasn't making sense at all. But anyway, it's got a reverse button, comes in handy. That's a nice feature. The remote I like, actually. It's got this sort of hook hole in the middle where you can put your finger through and hold it. It feels very ergonomic. It feels light. It is plastic, so I won't get it dropping it on the floor. The wrist strap is good. It's got the little flick switch there, so you can adjust the length and stuff and get it nice and tight on your wrist, so you're not gonna lose it. The actual acceleration and braking switch, the roll forward and backwards, is just like other boards out there. It's better than the previous version of the controller that I had on the Street series. The actual lights on the control, you can see on the other Street series board, they were sort of right down. You couldn't see the indicator lights on there, but these are actually displayed on there nicely, so you can see clearly what your power is of the board and of the controller. Yeah, I like the controller. It's nice. One thing I was sort of worried about in the spec sheet was that the fact the motors could only sort of cope with a 10% gradient, and I was wondering, and I was worried about them being underpowered for as you can see, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I was worried about them being underpowered for sort of all-terrain purposes. If it's all-terrain board, then it should be able to cope with hills and going up and down, undulations and that kind of thing. But there is a decent amount of torque on these motors. They're hub motors on the back, and yeah, built into the wheels, and there's a decent amount of push. It was really steep, and we're still going. Ah! Oh god, go on boy, go on, you can do it. Oh, hit a rock. Oh, I'm skidding. Oh, I've stopped. Oh, it's too sandy. Oh, it's sandy. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my god. Oh god. Trouble is, it's like really sandy on the board, so I keep on slipping on the board. See?
You gotta do a jump.
Woo. Woo. It's too sandy.
It is, isn't it?
Can these tree roots, if Jake can keep straight. Go on. Forward, down a bit. Come on. That's it. Well done, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh my word. For someone that's never done it before, he's taking it up pretty well. He's doing really well. It is hard, especially with the truck so light, to keep it so stable. If you really want it stable at a high speed, you've got to make sure that the trucks are stiff, so it doesn't, you don't get that speed wobble. But it's a lot of fun. Safety first. Let's talk about the weight then, just for a second. The weight, yeah, you've got to bear in mind if you're buying this board to be a portable board, that is not the case. Honestly, these kind of boards, all the boards though, not just this board, are going to be on the heavy side. They're not for carrying around. You've got to be wary about running out of battery as well. If you run out of battery, you've got to carry this thing home. It's going to be heavy. I've written down a few of the comparisons. So this board is 15 kilograms, and you've got to bear in mind that it's £599. The Evolve Bamboo, which is double the price, just to be aware, is 11.3 kilograms, so lighter. The Onza Black all-terrain is 10.3, but that's double the price as well. And then you've got Onboard Carbon all-terrain, which is 11 kilograms. Yeah, and that's $300 more as well. So they're lighter. There's lighter boards out there than this board, but in comparison to the rest of them, the price just more than makes up for that, really. And like I said, none of those boards are going to be kind of boards that you're going to be taking out and really chucking on your backpack or anything like that. They're not very portable. They're for sort of expeditions like I'm doing now. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind if you're looking to buy any of these boards. They've got tubeless rubber wheels, and they just soak up anything. They've got like those perforations or holes all the way around the edge, so it's like gives it that suspension and soft feel. They feel really good, and they soak up all like the tree roots and stuff like that as you go along the path. Very nice. Big as well. They feel big and they feel nice and comfortable. It's like riding like a 29er mountain bike. It just feels so solid when you're going over stuff. You don't feel like you can't go over anything. Here comes Jake. Go on, dude. Oh no, hit the branch. Okay, so the Black Hawk All-Terrain Series version 3 is fun. It is very fun. I can't deny me and Jake had loads of fun going out. Just going out and finding some trails, going out and having a laugh, just having a walk along with like doing some tricks and trying to ride around and seeing what sort of routes you can take, and can you go over this tree route, can you get through that gap, and can you ride through those trees. It's really fun. I can't deny how much fun it is to ride. It is heavy. It's not waterproof. There are some limitations, but for the price and for the experience and the memories you're going to get out of riding it, it's well worth the money. If you've got that kind of money just lying around just to buy something like that, it's well worth it. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and press the bell so you don't miss any future uploads, because hopefully we'll be having some more personal electric vehicles coming in very soon, so we can test them and pit them against each other, not only from Black Hawk but from other manufacturers. So yes, stay tuned, don't miss those ones. And until next time, thanks for watching, take it easy, see you on the next video, bye.